That's because the good guys, though,
that's right,
are doing their thing. They split the series, though, with the Detroit Tigers. Unfortunately, the good guys went down today, 8-5. But they did.
Speaking of unserious.
Wow.
Look, man.
You're going to get after the... Wow, okay.
No, here's the segue.
All right.
I'm so excited for the All-Star break because these boys clearly need it.
Yeah. Ninth inning comeback for the Detroit Tigers did the Rangers in today. But that's not what we're going to talk about, though.
We're going to talk about the sweet part of the bittersweet day, right?
That's right. The sweetness that was the announcement of not one, not two, not three, but 4 All-Star starters, including my man, Young Money, Josh Jung, becoming the first rookie in franchise history to be named an All-Star starter. He will be your starting American League third baseman this year, along with Corey Seager, who's going to be starting at shortstop, Marcus Semien, your starting second baseman, and shout out to Jonah Heim.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, which one did you find to be the most exciting, surprising, what have you?
I know which one it was for you.
Yeah, all those are wrapped up in Jonah Heim.
That's right.
Like, Jonah Heim, who statistically has been, he's earned this. In fact, all 4 of your All-Star starters have earned this, right? Like, none of this is, the Rangers, pairing or camaraderie between the Rays and the Rangers in order to get their starters. Yeah, that was helping to get this along, but all of these guys are wildly deserving. But Jonah Heim faced what I felt was more of an uphill battle, which is being a catcher. It's a very limited spot. Mike Bassick has talked about it a lot. You can only expect them to carry 2 catchers, really. And he was going up against Adley Rutschman, who former #1 overall pick, big name in the sport, right? Like when he came up to the bigs, there was a lot of fanfare. And Jonah Heim does not have that visibility and that notoriety. And yet, and still, here he is starting one of 3 Rangers to be first time. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. One of 3 Rangers to be first time starters. Obviously, Heim, Josh Jung, because rookie. Also, Corey Seager had never started an All-Star game before. Did you realize that?
I did not know that, no.
And this will be his first one. And so this has been fascinating. And the first time the Rangers have had All-Star starters since, can you guess the year? 2012.
Wow, it's been over a decade?
Yeah, dog.
Wow.
Your starters then, catcher Mac Napoli, third baseman Adrian Beltre, obviously Hambone, Josh Hamilton in the outfield. So you went from 3 starters in 2012, no starters, till 2023, where you have 4 starters that we know of, because we'll find out what this pitching looks like at a later date. But yeah, this is incredible. And I was talking with our video guy, our friend Carter Freeman, earlier, and I would never call myself the biggest Rangers fan. We know incredibly huge Rangers fans, right?
That's right. Yes.
But that's the level of excitement that this has brought. I found myself giddy seeing the names keep rolling in when we found out these All-Star starters. In fact, we were on the phone, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Could you hear the tangible excitement in my voice?
I mean, these guys have deserved it, though. I mean, you look at Josh Jung has been spectacular. The poise in which he has played third base all season long has been fun to watch. Obviously, since Corey Seager has come off the injured list, he has been tearing it up since mid-May. Marcus Semien has been the model of consistency throughout the course of this season. He is a legitimate AL MVP candidate for your Texas Rangers. And Jonah Heim is arguably right now the best catcher in the game. So you've got serious star power on this team. There's a reason why this team has played as well as it's done offensively, and to the point of the 9-7-2 and a couple of others who have lamented the fact that, yes, Adolis Garcia, who is tied for the major league lead in RBI with Shohei Ohtani, was not named an all-star starter. I would tend to think that he is going to be an all-star reserve for the Texas Rangers, given the fantastic year that he has had so far. I believe Adolis Garcia is going to be an all-star once it's all said and done as well.
And I mean, he had a tough road, right? Look at the outfielders that did get named to the AL All-Star team. Are you familiar with a Mike Trout? Have you heard of this gentleman?
Yep.
All right, cool. Yep. Are you familiar with an Aaron Judge? You heard of him?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not
and
bad.
then Randy Arozarena for the Rays.
So good.
Right? These are really tough dudes to try and box out. Now, you have a couple of injuries there, and now we'll go to the player vote to see if, what will happen beyond that. But
because Judge is going to be out for the foreseeable future with the toe injury he's got.
I understand why he had a tough road to get into being a starter, and Adolis, again, is another person who deserves it. can I also mention, like, going back to the Jonah Heim thing, because this has been the thing that, again, I've been sitting and I've been buzzing about for the last, hour or so since it was announced. Jonah Heim beat out Adley Rutschman with a 52% of the vote. Like, he edged him out. So, real quick, can I say, and of course, like, on behalf of all these players, but just on behalf of Jonah Heim especially, yo, great job, Rangers fans. Like, way to do the voting. Yeah, way to do the voting, y'all. Like, y'all did incredible. Way to do this, because like one thing about this is this will also help in giving these guys attention and notoriety and like put even more of a spotlight on what has been a fantastic first half of the season for your Le Rangers.
A little bit later on in the show, we're going to be going through the midseason awards for Major League Baseball, and obviously your Rangers are going to figure prominently in some of this because you look at what they have done with Bruce Bochy coming in as manager for this team, the calming presence and influence that he's been. But you can get the sense with all the talent that they've obviously spent money on to bring in Semien, to bring in Seager, to also improve this rotation. This is a team that's primed and ready to hopefully make a second half run with some additional bullpen help that will need going into the second half of the year. But if you're a Rangers fan, you have had a ton of fun watching this offense beat the brakes off of most teams throughout the course of the first half of the year. And now you're seeing these guys being rewarded for it. My favorite, if I had to pick, I know Jonah Heim is your favorite. Look, man, mine is definitely Josh Jung. Having a chance to talk with him before the season started, there was just a calming presence about the young man who gave off an air of confidence that he knew what time it was for him and what his capabilities were. I think to the degree that we've seen it so far, it's still a little bit surprising, but he has been terrific for this team and really has alleviated questions about what you thought he was going to be coming into the year and is going to be holding it down at third base for the next decade. And he has shown that on a team that's contending legitimately for an AL pennant. Josh Jung, my favorite All-Star. And plus, when you're making history like the way that he did, first rookie in franchise history to be an All-Star starter, kudos to Young Money for his first half of the year. Deserved All-Star voting for him.
What a great time to be a Rangers fan, man.
It is a fun time to be a Rangers fan.
All it took was a half billy, man. That's great.
What's my favorite saying?
Spend that money, Ray.
Spend that money, Ray. Scared money don't make money. And the Rangers have, which is funny because you see teams do this all the time in Major League Baseball, whether it be the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, spending their way toward winning championships. And Ray Davis said, well, I'm not going to be the one, not trying to spend this money around here.
Although, can I do this thing real quick?
Oh.
With the Mets, I'm kind of sad that they stink. Like,
they're awful.
The thing about
they are awful.
The thing about like the Schadenfreude in me is like, hey, y'all spend all this money, y'all look this bad, ha ha, right? Hilarious. But I also seem to like have gotten this feeling. You tell me if you agree. That these owners, if they could not spend the money, they would like to not spend the money, right? And they got mad because Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, came in and was like, no, I bought this team to spend. And he's just been putting all that money down. And I loved it because it made all these owners uncomfortable and maybe, just maybe, got them to a place where, yeah, man, maybe we should be spending this money because he's going to buy up all the competition, right? He's going to buy up all the winning. And it hasn't broken that way. So maybe you see owners go the other way and they go, well, see, spending all that money doesn't work, which means that now I have a reason to be cheap. And boy, I don't want to have any reasons to be cheap. Like the Rangers specifically have already gone through what felt like that for a long time period. And I like it when the Rangers spend money way more than when they didn't nearly to this extent. Right. So just for the sake of, I hope that owners don't take the wrong lessons from the Mets thing. They're losing because they're the Mets, right? That had nothing to do with the money.
Well, again, Steve Cohen, billion-dollar hedge fund guy said, I'm going to spend all the money to try to make this thing happen. And I admire someone who's like, look, man, I can't take it with me, so I might as well go spend it to try and make my team the best that I can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In the case of the Rangers right now, it's working, and it's working very well. And I'll say this to end here. Shout out to Chris Young, who has clearly had a vision for this team and said that he wanted to get the commitment from this organization for him to be able to make the kinds of moves that he believes will make this team better. And they have done it, and he has been at the top of that with his leadership and willingness to take big, bold swings and convincing and getting this front office, getting this ownership group to be able to spend the kind of money that it takes to win in today's Major League Baseball. And more importantly, the players have proven their spending habits correct based on what we've seen this year. And for Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Josh Jung, and Jonah Heim, they will be all-star starters for your Texas Rangers, having fantastic first halves this season for your Texas Rangers.
And Adolis still has an opportunity to be a starter because
Agreed.
we know that there's a couple of injuries in that outfield. Maybe a replacement happens, but that comes after the player vote. So we'll wait with bated breath and hope that you can add a fifth all-star starter for your Rangers, at least when it comes to the guys on the field. That's right. That's right.